Mike Jones.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? I hope everybody having a beautiful day today. It was. Sometimes you just got a lot on your plate. How's everybody doing? A shout out to Ugly Kid for the donation. Appreciate you, my brother. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm gonna assume that that's like a how do you say the opposite, you're just trying to, you really attractive female, and you're like, hey, I'm the ugly kid, like that's what you do. Shout out to you. Funny, I guess. What's up, big boy? What up, Scarred Music? I was actually putting something together about the stuff that you've been sending me. I've been actually putting something together. It didn't make it to come onto the show tonight, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen. What up, John Soto? How's you doing today? What up, Corey S? Corey S is always pushing his artist Jade Massentoff. Apparently he says she got a new video out. Go copy. Anyway, what up, Dre Ski Randolph? Omar, how you doing today? What up, Drone? I don't know how bad your Monday is, but let's hope everybody had a great Monday just in general. What up, Mommy Rocks? What we got? Rob G. What up, Lovely E? How you doing today? What up, Q? Broker H2O? Are you actually 3 right now? There right now. No, that's not where I'm at. And just for full disclosure, the Giants is currently playing, so I'm also watching the Giants game. They're playing the Cowboys. I do not want to miss it. If something really good happens, I'll turn the TV up and I'll give you a play-by-play. What up, Five Borough Boy, Shot Murder? Who else we got up in here? A dope or ugly kid donated before the show even started. Appreciate that. Also, yes, there is a catch app. What up, Heather Walters says, shoot, that may be the best time to say anything without worrying about being kicked on account of being misunderstood or asking a question that's dumb. There's always somebody that wants to just. There's always, I don't know. I'm not even getting involved in that. What up, Daryl Gavin? What up, Chords Tunes? Jim, yo, not for nothing. But when you're a person that is already specifically trying to figure out how to get under somebody's skin or upset somebody, when you get kicked, that's on you. I just want to say that. When you come into a chat and your first comments are, oh man, I hope this thing doesn't happen, there's a good chance that if that thing happens, you deserve it. I just want to throw that out there. I just want to throw that out there. I'm thinking that's kind of common sense, but I'm guessing it's not. Is the chat stuck? Let me see if the chat is stuck. My chat might be stuck. Why is that? Oh yes, this might be weirdo shit going on my computer right now. Oh man, this is crazy, yo. No, I'm not gonna hit her with a bag. She obviously has much deeper things going on than any bag hitting could ever deliver to fix. This is crazy, yo. Anyway, there's a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. One of the main subjects, or the main subject of what we will be discussing, is how the game came to Tekashi's defense. Now, one of the main reasons why I want to talk about that has to do with the fact of what I've been saying for the past couple of months. Besides talking about how the game came to Tekashi's defense, we also want to talk about Rodney Reed today. For everybody that don't know, Rodney Reed has been sentenced to the death penalty. He is actually sentenced to be executed on the 20th of November. There's been a real big push on social media because apparently there's been evidence and along the lines proving his innocence, that individuals want the government or the judicial system to review and to look at, because no one wants a innocent man. There is a black cat on the field. I am not lying to you. No cat. There's a black cat on the field. Who did this? Who did this? Was it a Giants fan or was it a Cowboys fan? I need to know. There's a black cat currently on the field at the Giants Cowboys game. What in the heck? Is the chat broke? I'm curious. Like, there's no comments coming through. How you not gonna get rid of the cat? Oh man, don't chase it back onto the field. What in the hell? What are y'all doing? Oh, the fans are not making it. The fans are not. Oh man, somebody's gonna get the shit scratched out of them. I'm telling you, somebody is. Somebody is about to get scratched all type of different ways. Oh man, whose idea was did this? The NFL. The NFL did this, and the people who run Monday Night Football, they said we need some kind of thing. The game might be whack, so they threw a black cat out on the field. That was crazy. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, the game's back on. So, oh god damn it. The running back got dead in the way. He had a I mean, not the running back, the linebacker. Anyway, so also we're gonna be talking about Rodney Reed today. I apologize for Rodney Reed's situation is extremely serious. I'm gonna be talking about the Rodney Reed situation also today. But what I want to lead off the night with is I want everybody, just in case you did not get an opportunity to hear what the game said. The game was on Everyday Struggle. He was on Everyday Struggle, and he was actually asked a question by DJ Academics, and I think he answered the question eloquent really well. And I think he made a lot of good points. Because one of the things that people keep forgetting is no matter how much you say that Tekashi 6ix9ine was gang, that doesn't mean that Tekashi 6ix9ine was gang. Now, the people who are actually in the gang, my fault. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be watching. I want Duffy. I messes with her. So I could see how somebody that was in the gang would be like, well, Tekashi 6ix9ine, this and this and that, he was in our gang. But for the individuals that were not in the gang whatsoever, I just think that you got to look at it a little bit differently. I mean, at the end of the day, even Fat Joe said Tekashi 6ix9ine pulled Fat Joe to the side after they had like a talk or something like that. Tekashi pulled Fat Joe to the side and told him it was all a game. He's not really down with this. He's not really down with that. Whatever the case might be. You understand what I'm saying? So, Fat Joe is coming out now saying that Tekashi 6ix9ine told him that it was all fake. Told him that not that the gang stuff involving those guys was fake, but as far as him, I guess being involved in anything, his involvement in anything that wasn't real. I think that's what he was trying to say. Anyway, so let's get to the actual. Yeah, this is y'all could follow her on live. Her name is I Want Duffy. That's her name. I don't know who she is though. She a cutie though. That's a whole fact. She just started doing these because the little kids be doing them. Anyway, let me find that thing for you. Way too busy. Okay, here we go. No matter what he took. So he lied to Fat Joe. Well, it could be it's not an opinion because it's being proved that he did have some type of he was involved in things more than he said he was. So that's not actually an opinion, that's a fact, Jay. Just so we can be clear. That's actual factual statement.
A gangster, and he ain't no gangster like that. He ain't a gangster like that. He don't belong in that situation. I don't condone snitching. That's some fuck shit. But
it's about the loop. But also shout out to DJ Academics for asking tough questions.
He's not a gang affiliated kid.
So you had mentioned you were talking about 6ix9ine. You said you felt bad for him, and I didn't get why you felt bad.
Simply because you have a kid in music that was doing really well for himself. You know what I'm saying? No matter what he took on or what he glorified or what he wanted to be or what he wasn't, it worked for him.
It said some things to you though that was pretty hurtful, like
I wasn't used to the new age of motherfuckers doing shit. I wanted to strangle that little nigga. At the same time, here's a young kid, right, who doesn't understand. This is before the indictment, before the jail shit, before the shit was gonna get real. I already knew what that type of fuckery does, man. I don't think that as a hip hop artist who's not gangster, and you know he ain't no gangster like that, you know he ain't a gangster like that. He don't belong in that situation. I don't condone snitching. That's some fuck shit. But he don't live by the same code that I do. Because he's not really a street dude. He's just a kid, man. And he's not a gang affiliated kid.
So you
Okay, so let me just get a couple of things clear real quick for everybody that might not know this. My battery shit is about to die, so let me chill. 6ix9ine actually was participating. Yeah, I did say that this would happen. That's a whole fact. I told y'all this was gonna happen. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. Thank you, Shy Murder. A lot of times I say things, I don't know what to tell you, but I actually did say that more artists were gonna come out kind of to 6ix9ine's defense and say, and stop bashing him. I did say that. That's a whole fact. But that's not the reason. I need to plug that in before that die out. I think academics, hold on, before we even go any further, I think academics has had a lot of unbiased conversations about 6ix9ine. I think it's just because people feel that him and 6ix9ine are so close, which they might be. I'm not saying that they're not, but I think that since people see that him and 6ix9ine are so close, what actually happens is people believe that it's a bias whenever he's not killing 6ix9ine. You understand what I'm saying? So I believe that a lot of people believe it's a bias when he's not killing 6ix9ine. But me, in my opinion, I think quite a few times, I think more times than not, actually, academics has been pretty non-biased on the topic of 6ix9ine, more times than not. I think to a certain degree, some people have not been fair to academics on that particular point. I think he's been pretty non-biased. I think he's called 6ix9ine out on quite some bullshit before. Like academics straight up said that he was planning crimes with the gang members, and that's exactly what I was just about to say right now. At the end of the day, 6ix9ine actually did. I was in court. I'm telling you from an individual that was actually in court. 6ix9ine did have some type of say, or he did have a vote or a word in on some of the situations that they was doing involving criminal activity. Nothing that had to do with drugs, nothing that I heard that had to do with drugs, but the things that had to deal with protecting his image. Yes, 6ix9ine did have a say so in a lot of the things that had to deal with protecting his image that were illegal. I was about to say illegal. Maybe I'm black or New Yorker. I don't know why, but it's illegal. So I've seen 6ix9ine. I've seen academics myself multiple times be unbiased in this particular case. But even more so to the point, 6ix9ine has actually has more so to the point has actually did was involved in some of the meetings where shenanigans was spoken on. Now, with all of that being said, I'm gonna hopefully try to have my guest that I needed to come on today because there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. But my guest that I spoke with today made a really good point. He said this is the way the feds work. The feds work like this. You don't always have to tell the truth when you get on that witness stand. Or you have to be able to tell something close enough to the truth that could be substantiated. You can't flat out lie. But if you could say something that could be substantiated, he said it way better than me. I'll see if I can get him to come on tomorrow and talk about the Alpo case and then I will be able to have this conversation. But until then, we can't have this conversation. Time out. How is academics a rat? Huncho Jones, how is academics a rat? Please explain this to me. You coming in here looking for a fight, obviously. How is academics a rat? I'm gonna need you to explain that. So game right there. Let's listen to this game jump off one more time. I'm not gonna have the speaker on because I need the speaker to charge up. That shit is dead. But let's listen to this back and forth with Tekashi. With he's gonna need to elaborate. See, they like coming in here saying weird shit, and then when I ask them to elaborate, they don't talk. You will still get kicked. Just elaborate. You might as well just have the conversation with me. And then they're gonna go somewhere else and say they got kicked for an opinion. You see how they do? He came in here looking like he came in here calling somebody a rat. I want to know how come he says DJ Academics is a rat. Admins. If I got any admins in here, if he doesn't answer that question in the next minute or two, just kick him. Oh, there you go. He said something. I've been a supporter since day one. Don't kick me. And the account on was on my girl account. Finally made. Well, hold on. I'm ready to explain how you're a rat. Okay, let's give Huncho a minute. Shout out to Huncho Jones. Let's give Huncho a minute. I need for him to explain how DJ Academics is a rat. That's a whole fact. I need him to explain this shit to me. But hold on, we about to get back and listen to this Huncho guy, man. You a funny dude, yo. Oh man, come on, man. Bring your shit. If you got a bad argument, I'm not even gonna kick you. I'm gonna give you a timeout instead of kicking you if you got a terrible argument. How's about that? That's fair? If you got a terrible argument, instead of kicking you, I'm gonna give you a timeout or two. I think that's fair. You can sit in the corner for a little while if you got a terrible argument. Can't be in here calling people rats. You don't got no good argument. At least gotta have a good argument.
You had mentioned you were talking about 6ix9ine. You said you felt bad for him, and I didn't get why you felt bad for him.
Simply because you have a kid in music that was doing really well for himself. You know what I'm saying? No matter what he took on or what he glorified or what he wanted to be or what he wasn't, it worked for him.
He said some things to you though that was pretty hurtful. Like
I wasn't used to the new age of motherfuckers doing shit. I wanted to strangle that little nigga. At the same time, here's a young kid, right, who doesn't understand. This is before the indictment, before the jail shit, before the shit was gonna get real. I already knew what that type of fuckery does, man. I don't think that as a hip hop artist who's not gangster, and you know he ain't no gangster like that, you know he ain't a gangster like that, he don't belong in that situation. I don't condone snitching, that's some fuck shit. But he don't live by the same code that I do. Because he's not really a street dude. He's just a kid, man. And he's not a gang-affiliated kid.
So
I'm gonna tell you what's happening also. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things what's happening. I'm gonna tell you what's happening. I'm gonna explain to you what's happening. I'm gonna explain to you what's happening. Hopefully a couple of y'all be able to understand where I'm coming from when I say this. They're not saying that 6ix9ine is a kid. Like he's a teenager. Okay. You ever run into individuals, let's say you work at a job, right? And you have an individual that works at your job. And they're not new, right? But everyone else has more experience than them. So they just, everything that comes out of their mouth sound like foolishness. That's what they're trying to say about 6ix9ine when they like he's a kid. Mocha said it personally. 23 is not full grown yet. He's still a guppy. I'm going to tell you something I heard. This is something I heard. What I heard was when they used to go to all of them clubs, right? When they used to go to all of them clubs, a lot of the people with more notoriety, they stayed away from 6ix9ine, didn't go near him, didn't talk to him, had no respect for him, didn't care for him. I'm gonna say that again. I heard that when they was going to them clubs and they were partying, a lot of the people that were there that was supposed to be affiliated with different organizations, they didn't have no parts of 6ix9ine. They walked right past him like he wasn't even there. Now, for an individual who don't live in that type of lifestyle, you think that that's foolish. Why wouldn't they want to? Yo, go back and kick that dude. Somebody go back and kick that dude. One of the admins. I need y'all to scroll back up and kick homeboy. He ain't never reply. We gave him more than enough time. I'm looking for his name right now. You gave him more than enough time. You can't come in here. Oh, you already did it for me. Appreciate you. You can't come in here and just be calling people rats. What kind of shit is that? We're not doing that. We're not them other guys. That's what those other guys do. His maturity level isn't there. You understand what I'm saying? So when these guys are saying, yo, he's a kid, they're not saying he's a kid like he's a teenager. They're saying he's a kid like he doesn't have enough experience to been able to navigate the situation he was in. You understand what I'm saying? So please stop people equating when somebody say kid to the numerical age of their body. It's not talking about how old the person is, physically. They're talking about mentally how equipped he was for the situation that he was in. And for the situation he was in, he was a child. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the dude that's like an okay basketball player in your neighborhood somehow making it to the NBA, and then they putting him in the game and expected him to hit game-winning shots with a couple of seconds on the clock. This is the type of situation that Tekashi was in. They just, he was just on the block one day hooping. You know what I'm saying? They was like, "Oh man, we only got 10 people on the roster. Hey you!" They called Tekashi. Yeah, shut up. Part of me, not shut up, but stop phone. So they, hey you. Oh, let me put it like that. Hey you and shit. And then they called Tekashi over to get on the team, but that don't mean that Tekashi has the skill to be able to, navigate the NBA. You understand what I'm saying? So when people be saying kid, take it like that. Stop taking it like they mean numerically how old he was. And then also you have to, just so we can be clear about something else, the only actual problem is that they got him involved in, or he somehow got involved in the gang business. If he doesn't get involved in the gang business at all, what could he snitch on? What could he talk about? This is a lesson to all of you rappers out there, or people that affiliate themselves with rappers, or people that ain't about that life. Like me, I don't never want to know about crimes. Through a damn interception. Like me, I don't never want to know about crimes. Don't tell me about crimes. If I ask you, it was by accident. All you got to do is say, you might not want to know. I'm going to say, I understand. I don't want to know about crimes. I don't want to know nothing that if one of you guys go and turn on each other, somebody could blame me for being involved in it. Shout out to Almond Brown. How you doing today, baby girl? I don't want to know none of that shit. So I don't want to know nothing that the actual people involved in the crime could get pissed off at each other. Then now somebody snitched And then somebody could point. Nah, you can't point your finger at me because I don't know nothing about it. So I don't want to know nothing about nothing. When feds come try to talk to me, I don't know nothing about nothing, and I'm gonna be telling the truth. That's that's how I'm giving it up. I don't want to know nothing about no crimes. I got other things. I got enough problems. Try to tell me something about a crime. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so I think that's something that people really got to pay attention to. A lot of these rappers are now looking at this whole situation a little differently. Remember, they was dragging Tekashi. My day was pretty good. Remember, they were dragging Tekashi. Not the game as much, but there was a lot of rappers that were just dragging Tekashi. Remember all the memes that was popping up online? They was going ham on Tekashi. The funny thing is, I don't see nobody making those memes about Alpo. What up with that? I don't see a million memes on the internet about Alpo, and Alpo killed Rich Porter. That's not hyperbole. That's not an allegation. He has admitted to killing Rich Porter. And then he killed the guy that helped him kill Rich Porter. I don't see nobody making memes about Alpo though. Alpo pulling up in the hood. I don't see nobody threatening Alpo. But people want to go threaten Tekashi though. People want to go crazy, talk crazy about Tekashi. And he told on Wayne Perry. But there's a lot going on with that. Hopefully, I'm gonna be able to get my guests to come on tomorrow, and they'll be able to go into the Alpo situation. That's not what we're discussing tonight. But hopefully, I'll be able to get my guests to come on tomorrow. Yawning, that sucks. But yeah, so that's the way I'm looking at it personally. You have all of these guys dragging Tekashi right and left. And now, if you notice, like I told y'all, a lot of these rappers, they're backing up off of that. That's not the move anymore. Shit, they even had Snoop doing it. I don't know. Where's Sammy the Bull from? Where's Sammy the Bull from? Because he's the most legendary snitch of all of the snitches. Actually, the most legendary snitch of all of the snitches was Judas. Right? I don't think Judas came from New York, but you know, whatever. Where does Sammy the Bull come from? Brooklyn? Yeah, Sammy the Bull. He was legendary snitch. But I just want to make this clear. Judas is the biggest snitch of all time. He didn't come from New York. Maybe y'all other states need to get some crime families people want to take down. Maybe because the other states don't have any crime families that anybody want to take down. Can't nobody really, when people snitch on y'all, it ain't a big deal. But snitches is everywhere, man. I don't know why people act like New York is the only place people. If the feds is doing business in your state, there's snitches there. If the feds, listen, if the feds is doing business in your state, locking people up in your state, there are snitches there. What are y'all talking about? I don't know why people always looking for reasons to hate on New York. It's crazy. People just be looking for reasons to hate on New York, y'all. Y'all should name me New York. Because people just be looking for reasons to hate on me. They be like, yo, look at Jack Frost. He got a star in his hat. Rat bastard. Like, what? Oh, man. Yeah, I know, Ra. It's definitely gonna go over their heads. It's a whole fact. But feds can't do business if nobody's snitching. You do know this, right? I don't care how many wiretaps or whatever. If nobody's gonna snitch, the feds cannot do business. That's literally the way you beat the feds. Don't nobody snitch and stay off of the phones. Nobody snitch, stay off the phones. You beat the feds. That's why everybody talking about Tekashi. Like, y'all really think that they couldn't have? I mean, it's just my opinion, but like I said, any of the individuals that actually got locked up behind this that want to blame Tekashi, I'm with you. I understand how you feel personally knowing Tekashi. People who know the individuals that are locked up in jail blaming Tekashi. I'm with you because this person that you personally knew got locked up because of got locked up with the testimony of someone that they personally knew. So there's an emotion there. It's deeper than one person telling on another. We knew each other. You're supposed to look out, whatever the case might be. It's deeper. So I understand that. But for the people that don't know nobody involved in the case at all, I can't get behind that. You don't know nobody involved in the case, no emotional connection, nothing. I just can't get behind it. That's just me though. Shout out to Seen and Unseen Boxing, $2 drive. Start that joint up, BBN. Appreciate you, my brother. Funny thing is, I'm gonna tell you how weird. Frost, people telling everywhere, even the gangsters. I mean, the feds can't do business without snitches. So unless you're telling me this Treyway case was the first time that the feds put anybody in jail in the last couple of years, somebody else other than Tekashi's out there snitching. Liberty said that's why old school mobsters used to stand on the corners and talk while cover their mouths. They never knew what's bugged. That's a fact. Why don't they have the same energy towards CIA Chris? I have not the slightest idea. I don't know. Nobody does meetings anymore. Just three-way calls with a tap phone. Yep. Gotta stay off the phone. You gotta understand. They said a couple of these situations, people was calling from the actual prison phones and talking business. I just don't think you could then blame Tekashi. Talking on the phone it's not even that's not even tapped. You know that they're listening. They tell you they're listening. Talking on one of those phones and then also talking about business. I think people blame Tekashi because Tekashi is just because of the image that he already had out there when he was like test my gangster. When he was saying test my gangster and all that other stuff, I think that right there is why there's a lot of individuals that they want to hold him solely responsible. I don't think it's fair. I think that there's much more than just him being responsible. I think other people are also responsible. I think whoever's idea it was to even get him involved in the gang activity of whatever, I would hold them responsible if I was any of these guys. Um, you can't talk on phones in jail. Um, how did CIA Chris get in the mix? CIA Chris literally brought the feds with him. That's basically what my assessment of the situation is. No matter what Tekashi did that jammed everybody up, CIA Chris brought the feds with him. That's just my opinion on that. All right, so let's move on. I want to discuss a different situation. And before we go any further, I want to discuss something else. Okay, so there was a person that I guess considered themselves going to my defense. So they contacted somebody. Hey, she got nice feet. So there was a person. So there was a person that was going to my defense, and they contacted somebody and they did something that I don't think is I don't appreciate doing. And so is there a way for me to show you what was said without showing you who it was? I don't want nobody to I don't want to keep perpetuating bullshit. So I just want to go over this real quick, and this is not me tearing this person down at this point. I just want to explain something. Once again, please don't go to people who dislike us, don't like me, and start trouble with them. I don't want anybody going anywhere to start trouble with anybody. Take that energy that you was gonna use to go yell and scream at somebody that was doing some effery and help somebody close to you. You don't need to do that in my regards. Please don't. So I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. So somebody contacted the racist lady. For everybody that don't know, one thing at a time, I guess. So hold on. Somebody decided to go contact this racist lady. And I'm going to explain this because I don't want people contacting her for me. Please don't contact her for me. Please don't go after this lady. Let her live her life. I just don't want anybody else bringing negative energy into their life. And so please don't do that on the behest of me. Talking about this racist lady, the racist lady right here, that was like calling me the N-word and everything else. I just want to so y'all get an understanding of who she was. Shout out to Cena Unseen Boxing for the keeping the $2 drive alive. He says just off the message, I gotta salute you again. Yeah, I don't want nobody bringing negative energy into their life. Please don't go and harass or attack these individuals. Just don't do it. Like, let's be better than that. I don't know no other way to say it. So let me show y'all this real quick. So individual contacts the lady and tells her off. I'll read what it says. I just want to show y'all something because I want to I want to use this opportunity to say something else about something else. She also says she's married to a black guy, so I think we should take his past away from him. I don't he might have dark skin, but he can't be a black man. Anyway, so he texts the lady for whatever the reason is. They're previously already arguing over something, I guess, and says, "You're about as dumb as a box of rocks. You sent a racist text message to a gentleman while he was live streaming on YouTube. You didn't stop to think that this may be a bad idea. Called her an idiot. Said, I hope you enjoy your." Then said something about her employment or lack thereof. She says, "How about you keep believing that guy, aka Frosty Flake? I am not racist. I'm married to a black man, so joke's on you, dummies." First of all, joke ain't on any of us. You lost your job. Joke's on you if anybody else. That's one. Two, being married to a black man doesn't give you the right to call other black people the N-word, period. So if you still feel some kind of obligation or that it's okay to call other black people the N-word, whether you're married to, well, calling black people the N-word just in general, whether you're married to a black man or not, you're still racist. Racism has more to do with your actions rather than your status. There we call that job. That's a whole fact. I'm gonna explain why we did that too, but hold on. Let me just clear something up real quick. And this is the best example of what's gonna allow for me to. So then he says something else, basically saying, no, how could your husband or whatever the case might be. So then check what she says. She accuses me of calling her a cracker. I don't ever talk about people at all like that. These people are so deluded that they make shit up in their brains, just make up lies and then pass those lies around. This is just something I want everybody to be cognizant of. Stop listening to what people tell you about other people. What these individuals was trying to do was, these individuals was trying to race bait me. They had been trying to race bait me before she came in here and called me the N-word on live while I was live. They had been trying to race bait me. They've been sending me DMs for months. That's homeboy over there on that channel's people have been sending me DMs for months calling me a racist. They didn't know that my daughter's white. They didn't know that my daughter's half white. They've been sending me months. You'll see them pop up in here every once in a while. They're going to pop up in here every once in a while and talk about, I don't know, some other ethnicity and then try to get me to co-sign something. But they've been texting me, DMing me for months, saying every time I put up a post, like, I'm going to show you, like, because we're about to have this conversation about this man. We're about to have this conversation about this man that, Rodney Reed. We're about to have this conversation about Rodney Reed. But every time I post a photo like this is a police officer punching a young girl in the face. I don't know what race the young girl is, by the way. I thought the young girl was white. I'll let y'all see this one more time. That's a grown police officer, grown man, punching a young girl in the face. Every time I put up stuff like that, trying to bring awareness to police brutality, trying to bring awareness just to stuff that's going on, these people would send me DMs calling me a racist. So I already knew they was trying to race bait me. I just want y'all to understand this. So when she came and she called me the N-word, I mean, I'm not going to lose my shit anyway, because I'm not like that. Like, somebody called me the N-word, I'm not going to just lose my shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I got too much up here for that. I'm not going to lose my shit. They don't want us on the internet speaking positively about our people. And when I say our people, I'm not just talking about black people. I'm saying our people. They don't want us on the internet talking positively about our people. You know, the individuals that aren't, you know, the like in the 1%. You understand what I'm saying? They don't. If I'm gonna tell you how real it is. If you're a white person and you come on the internet and you say something positive about a white person, right? You know what's gonna happen? There's gonna be the black woke people that's gonna attack you. Think about that. Just think about that for a minute. White people go on the internet and they start speaking positively about white shit. Black woke people come attack them. When you're a black woke person and you're on the internet and you try to shine light on something, other people come attack you. This is how they keep that shit propagated. Pardon me. I'm not even sure if that's the right word. But this is how they keep it building. They keep us attacking each other. That's why people like this, we got to get them out of here. Any black people that unnecessarily attack, I'm not pointing at myself saying me. I'm just saying like people that look like me that unnecessarily attack white people just because they have a love for who they are. They're wrong also. Period. None of us should have to feel ashamed for loving who we are, loving the race that we are, loving our gender, loving who we love. None of us should have to feel ashamed of that. Period. I'm against all the shenanigans. But I do believe that I should have the right to say, I think black people are the shit. If you white and you want to say you think white people are the shit, I shouldn't come there to try to stop you. I should allow for you to carry that message with you. And this is the problem that we have. So before we go too far into this, I'm going to first show y'all a quick clip, if I can get this clip up, about lost the clip. Hold on.
The forensic witnesses have all recanted, and there is really nothing left of the state's evidence that was used to convict.
She had to have been killed before midnight. And this is exactly the time that Fennell said that they were together. I just look forward to being out there.
The forensic witnesses have all recanted, and there is really nothing left of the state's evidence that was used to convict.
She had to have been killed before midnight. And this is exactly the time that Fennell said that they were together. I just look forward to being out there.
Now, this is why I want to talk about that first. This thing I talked about first. This is why I want to talk about that thing first. Who do you think was on? Who you think was on his jury? Who you think was on his jury? What kind of people do you think was on his jury? What kind of people or the individuals you think that aren't going to allow for him, even after all the evidence that was used to convict him has been thrown out? What type of people you think are the ones that's not going to give him a second chance? Because the actual evidence that was used for his conviction is now proven to not be either reliable, had to be an offsides, have not been reliable. The same type of people. There might be a couple of white women on that jury that married a couple of black dudes. The same type of people that's gonna test you. I'm gonna call you the N-word. Same type of people. And don't forget that they said he had a solid alibi. How you get convicted for anything if you got a solid alibi? I get so much hate. I just get hate texts all day. This shit is retarded. How did you how do you how do you get convicted of anything if you have a solid alibi? How do you get convicted of killing someone if they already know that someone else was with that person when they were killed? I don't know how much of this is about white and black. I'm talking about how this is right and wrong. But the problem is, when we have these trials, who do you think is on the stand? Who do you think is in the jury box? Who? Hold on. Let's go into Rodney Reed. He's supposed to be getting executed on the 20th of November. So basically, there's a petition also. Everybody should go sign the petition. We're going to read this CNN article real quick. Shout out to CNN. And Teresa Waldrop.
There is no greater feeling than helping someone in your community.
There's an ad. Hold on, the ad is gonna go through, then I'm gonna see if we could see that just told. See, this is the thing. I'm gonna tell you the thing that I don't like. Shout out to Seen and Unseen Boxing. Seems like the only person that appreciates tonight's show. I appreciate you.
Have sex with thugs. This case seems to be premised on the fact that good white girls don't have sex with thugs. This case seems to be premised on the fact that good white girls don't have sex with thugs. That is literally the theory of the state. Because other than that, what is the motive? All you're saying is that because he had sex with her, that means he had to kill her.
Reed said he lied about knowing Stacy because he didn't believe he'd get fair treatment if the police knew he was having an affair with another officer's fiancée.
When we started seeing each other, it came up that she was seeing an officer, and that's why we mainly tried to be as discreet as possible. It's not like I'm trying to hide and we're ducking and dodging and stuff like that. Places where I felt that was safe for us to be, we were open with each other.
Rodney had gone to the HEB, which is where Stacy worked. He knew there were people who had seen him with her. When I talked to two of them, both gave very similar statements about having seen Rodney and Stacy together, and that they were aware that they were having sex. The next time I tried to meet with those people, I couldn't. And it seemed that the witnesses that we had were all intimidated. So that part of our defense could not be presented to the jury.
It says right here, Rodney spent more than 21 years on death row for the 1996 murder of Stacey Stites in 1996. He insists he is innocent, and the former prison inmate last week filed an affidavit in the court saying that Stites' fiancé confessed to the murder to him years ago. The fiance's attorney says that claim is not credible. The Innocence Project, which says Reed, who was black, was convicted by an all-white jury, points out what it calls weaknesses in the case, saying that the murder weapon was never been tested for DNA evidence, and forensic experts have admitted to errors in their testimony. Says we must come together to prevent gross injustice. Actress Yada I don't know how to say her name. Other witnesses have come forth in recent weeks suggesting Reed's innocence. I'm gonna explain. This is the actress's name because I don't know how to say it. And it says right there, without community, there is no liberation. Always, that's what I'm always talking about. Community. Shout out to Seen and Unseen Boxing. Keep grinding the truth show through the message. Hey, also, yeah, I'll repost it. Hunter Rizzle. I seen what you had said, but we was in the middle of doing something. I didn't want to talk over the video. Basically, there is no more evidence actually linking him to the crime. You heard what the guy said. He's basically was found guilty because it wasn't believed that, he said a thug, but did they accuse him of being an officer, or was she an officer and she was messing with the other guy was an officer? I'm not 100% sure. But at the end of the day, there are quite a few people that believe that the reason why he was found guilty is because he was black and because she was white. I mean, if the evidence starts to disclaim that he could have done it, her man was an officer, or she and her man was an officer, that's what I'm assuming. So that's why they're trying to get this petition signed and get something done. Pardon me. I believe now the Kardashians is supposed to be getting involved in this. That's crazy that I called them the Kardashians. And by saying that, obvious, I was talking about Kim and Kanye. Ain't that something? Kanye Kardashian. You think he takes her name like when nobody's around? Like they probably be having sex and she calls him Mr. Kardashian instead of Mr. West. Anyway, yeah, everybody should sign the petition. That's a whole fact. Get the word out. We got to do something. We have to stop allowing the gross negligences of the law to be passed the way that they are. A while back, so I was talking to a female that I know, and she was like, "Would I ever move out of New York City?" And I said, "Well, I've lived a lot of different places," and I tried to explain to her that I've lived a lot of different places, and the things that I'm accustomed to in New York City, I'm not gonna get that same feel anywhere else. I'm accustomed to a certain level of racism. I'm accustomed to a certain level of racism. I'm going to show y'all what I'm doing right now. This petition is on IG. I'm about to sign it right now. I'm accustomed to a certain level of racism. I'm accustomed to a certain level of ignorance. When you leave out of New York City, those levels, or any big city, those levels change dramatically. I don't think anybody who's only ever lived in a big city could quite understand. I don't think anybody that's ever only lived in a small town can quite understand. Those levels change drastically. Those levels change drastically. I don't think people could fully understand. I lived in New York. I lived in Tennessee. I lived in Virginia. I lived in Georgia. I've lived in well, I was in Massachusetts for quite some time. I was in New Jersey for quite some time. Um, I've I've been quite a few different places, and when I tell you that the racism changes, it's just different. Some places, people of color are more easily welcomed, and other places, it looks like they're welcoming you, but they really not. The best example I could give, no, New Jersey is good. I'm not saying New Jersey isn't good. I was just naming places that I've been. Um, not far from New York City. It wasn't no racism there. I'm just saying I've been a couple of different places. Um, actually I could have named more places, but I'm just not gonna. Um, when I was in Tennessee, and this is the best example I could give, when I was in Tennessee, one of the things that had happened was the female that I was actually dating at that time used to, she was white and she was dating me. She didn't hate white black people. Pardon me. She had no problem with black people. And but if Mexicans came up, the idea of a Mexican came up, she lost her shit. She just hated Mexicans, and I could never understand that. And me and her had actual arguments based on this. The fact that she just hated Mexicans. That was that. There you go. Everybody go sign that petition. Pardon me. She just I mean, I can't even explain it to you. It didn't even make sense. She couldn't logically tell me why she hated Mexicans either. There was no rhyme or reason. There was no logic to it. There was no explanation that she could give. She just hated Mexicans and she talked in circles. I'm gonna tell you how much she talked in circles. The other day there was some other YouTube content creator and they had some guy on the line talking about how much they hate me. And they was trying to explain. He was like, okay, so why do you hate Jack Frost? So the person just kept talking in circles, so much so that you could tell like they was under either a self hypnosis or group hypnosis. I'm gonna explain something to you real quick. You could get hypnotized and not even know that you hypnotized. You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the strategies that radio actually use in order to make songs more popular. You get hypnotized. You don't even know you're getting hypnotized. Another way that you can get hypnotized is if you're around individuals and y'all talk about the same thing on a daily basis. You can get hypnotized because you're constantly getting reinforcement about whatever it is that you're hearing, whether that thing is the truth or not. You understand what I'm saying? You're constantly getting reinforcement. So when I'm listening to this individual talk about how they don't like me, and the person that he was talking to kept asking, okay, so what is your problem with Jack? And they kept talking in circles. They'd say something, 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 and then bring up some other random person. And but we're not talking about that person. We're talking about Jack. Then they'll say something, 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 and bring up a whole nother random person. And be like, but we're not talking about that person. And then they'll talk, and then they'll talk about those person, but be like, those people don't got nothing to do with this though. I just don't. You understand what I'm saying? They were just talking in complete circles. And at that point, I started feeling bad. Because I realized that they might have created I don't want to sound mean, but they might have created a mental health issue amongst themselves by inducing a mass hypnosis of each other. So this is kind of how towns and cities still are. Towns more so are still are. You understand what I'm saying? So you'll go to a certain town, and that certain town, they might hate Mexicans. They don't have no real reason to hate Mexicans. Joseph Nolte says goes into your subconscious if you keep repeating the same thing. It's a whole fact. It's a whole fact. And that's not even me. I'm not trying to talk bad about them. You got a right to whatever the hell you want to have a right to. I'm just stating the fact. And I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. So if somebody be like, he's talking about me, I'm really not saying anything disrespectful. But if somebody asks you why you feel a certain way about something and you can't explain it, it's probably a problem. It's really probably a problem there. Give me 1 minute. I'll come right back. Pardon me, thirsty as shit. I had to go get something to drink. Got me some tea or something. Anyway, so they won't free that man. I can promise. Well, we gotta see what's gonna happen. Hopefully something happen. Hopefully they don't send that man to his death even after all of the evidence proves that he was innocent. I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have in America. That there's so many this mass incarceration situation is absolutely terrible. I think that one of the main reasons why we do have to fight against these individuals that think that it's okay to just randomly call us the N word, that think that it's okay for they just, that just shows how much they don't think we're people. We also have to start trying to treat each other like we're people. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it like this. You see all types of different races fight on the internet, right? But who do you see fight on the internet more than minorities? I'll wait. I'll wait. Who do you see fight on the internet more than minorities? I'll wait. I'm gonna tell you something funny. A while back, everybody know who what's this guy's name? Sotomayor. I forgot his first name, but everybody know who's Sotomayor, right? He's the guy. He's always talking whatever he's talking about. Black people, black women more than anything else. He's always talking crazy, right? So he actually put a video out. I agree with. He actually put a video out. I agree with. But hold on. Before we get there, he had put out a couple of videos I did not agree with, right? But I didn't think that he was completely wrong. See, this is the problem. Somebody could be wrong about something in principle, but not in application. And somebody could be wrong about something in application, but not in principle. So when we learn to try to distinguish the two, it's easier for us to be able to have a conversation and fix problems. When we decide that even if somebody's right in principle, but they're wrong in application, therefore they're wrong, or somebody is wrong in principle, but they're right in application, therefore they're wrong, that makes it so we can never have a learning experience. That makes it so that we can never fix a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So what some people try to do is, we're not calling nobody a clown though, homie. We're not doing that. I'm just gonna remove the comment. So what happened was he said something and I didn't agree with the way he said it, but I did agree that he was right with what he was talking about. See, that's his thing. He says a lot of things in order to, he makes a lot of comments in order to get a rise out of people. But some of the shit he says be on point. He's not always wrong. Oh, wow. Are we going to get a flag? He was going out of bounds, and that's the fucking starting quarterback. Are we going to get a flag? We got a flag. Copy. Hopefully it's the right flag. So he was saying something about women. And see, this is the thing. I'm going to tell you the thing that I don't like about him. If you're going to have so many of your videos speaking so negatively on black women, can't you have a couple of them speaking positively? Is that a possibility? That's my issue with him. A lot of things that he say that happen that's negative about he's not wrong. He takes the most negative situations or instances that he could find, and he speaks about that. That doesn't make him wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so I put out a video speaking about how I thought negatively about some stuff that he said, right? I got bashed by a couple of people. It is what it is. But then I put out a video saying that I actually agree in theory and what he's talking about some whole other shit. The hate that came my way was retarded. And the hate that came my way wasn't because what I was saying was incorrect. Wasn't because what he was saying was incorrect. But the hate that came my way was for the simple fact that I didn't disagree with him. The hate that came my way was just from people that just hated him. Had nothing to do with what he was talking about. He could have been talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He could have said, milk goes good with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and there would have been a million people, or at least these same people, showing up to talk about, we don't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with milk, Holmes. We use, I don't know, water. So sometimes you get people that's so eager to hate somebody that they are illogical. Sometimes you get people that are so eager to want to be down with someone that they're illogical. So when I look at a lot of situations that go on with us and our people just being minorities in general, and minorities could be whether it's just skin color, ethnicity, or whether it's just could be a train of thought, because a lot of times that we're talking about the minorities of America, we're talking about the train of thought. You understand what I'm saying? There are a lot of white people that are minorities. I just keeping it on stack. There are a lot of white people that are the minority. You know what I'm saying? Like them and they people, they do not mesh with they people. I'm gonna tell you a real quick thing. All right, so um I've literally met quite a few white people, and they just don't, they don't hate other white people, but they just like, they feel they're uncomfortable around these guys because they know what some of these mofos is really about. So when they're around them, they just uncomfortable. I met quite a few. Oh man, my brother Ray, my oldest brother, he had a my oldest brother had a friend, a white friend. And I'm telling you right now, he was the whitest white guy you ever gonna meet. And all of his friends was black. It made no sense. It made zero sense. Whitest white guy you ever gonna meet. All white guy stuff. But all of his friends was black. He was cool as shit too. I think he lived with us for a while. Yeah. Yeah. I think he ain't live with us, he lived with my brother for a while. He lived with my brother for a while. He lived with my brother for a while. So whitest white guy you ever gonna meet. Whitest white guy. All his friends was black. It didn't, I don't know. It didn't make no sense to me. But it made sense to me. It didn't make no sense to me, but it made sense to me. If y'all couldn't tell, I'm not feeling that well right now. I'm really under the weather. They just won't give me a merch shelf. I do not know why they won't give me a fucking merch shelf. shit is retarded. They gave every fucking body else a merch shelf except for me. Yeah, I'm under the weather. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not feeling that good today. I'm gonna call it a wrap. I'm gonna call it a wrap. I'm just really not feeling that well today. My thoughts kind of. I think I'm speaking slow. Um, but definitely everybody go sign that petition. Definitely everybody go sign that petition. You press 3 times. Also, there you go. They go to petition right there again. Shout out to Bree. She always on it. I know. I don't feel my energy there. My energy's not there right now. I didn't even feel the energy to argue with the jerk off. Yo, I just think it's so hilarious. I made a full banger video when last year, like in March. How is people still popping up in here talking about a video I made in March? That's how you know they don't got no lives. Well, it's just gonna be like 10 years from now. They're gonna still be talking about that full banger video. It's gonna be like 10 years from now. Mental health issues. Mental health issues. Mental health issues. Yeah, I'm absolutely 100% exhausted. I'm not feeling that well. I don't know if you can tell. I'm just not feeling that well. Um, Before we go out, I do want to say, everybody go check out She Get the Money. It's on YouTube currently. It's starring Canary Diamond and Lexi and Delio Giovanni. I don't know why. I could pronounce the name the right way half of the time. I don't know why not all of the time. Go check it out. Come back. Let me know what y'all think about it. Maybe we have a discussion about it someday, but go check it out. She Get the Money is directed by Delio Giovanni Solomon. It's on YouTube. No idea why they don't have the damn channel it's on, but the name of it is She Get the Money. So go check it out. That was probably a terrible promo, but I am not feeling well. We're gonna do better tomorrow. Everybody, look, I love you. I want everybody to have a good night. I want you to enjoy yourself. If you got anybody in your house still awake, just hug them. Tell them you love them. You don't never know if you might not have that opportunity at another time. Well, I'm not really sick. I don't know what the hell. I just don't feel well. But I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Watch me be in the morning. I'm gonna be just fine. I wish I could get some vitamin C. Apparently, I have an allergy to orange juice. I did not know this until recently. So I'm thinking about all those times that I wasn't feeling well, then I drank orange juice and I got worse. Oh man, now I'm not staying the hell away from flu shots. I'd rather get the flu than the flu shot. I'm saying the hell away from them things. I appreciate the um the thought though. And also I want to give a shout out to everybody that sent in their pictures in the merch. These are the pics that I actually could still find. Shout out to Vic Star, Prince to Amir, G's up. I know what. Now I'm a fan of that color of the allegedly shirt. I'm gonna have to cop one. Shout out to No Love Danny, as you can see right there. Shout out to the real DJ Chip. He got on the first allegedly shirt with King Twist. Those are the first allegedlys. Shout out to Vertigo 24 Gaming with the I like I like all the merch, not for nothing. Look, he's stunned. He like, yeah, man, I got the Mercedes. Shout out to D No Love once again. I gotta go get me a red hoodie. Shout out to Straight Ballin' with the bag season. I appreciate y'all. Anybody else that got merch, please send in pictures of the merch. I want to make that so long. I want to make that long. We need to get 40, 50, 60 picks up. That's a fact. I want to make that shit crazy long. So buy the merch, send the pics in, and then we're gonna use them. If you got more than one piece of merch, then we'll use more than one picture. But if you only got one merch and you take like 6 pictures, you ain't fooling nobody. You only I'm gonna use one of them damn things. I'm only gonna use one of them damn things. You gotta take mad pictures and merch and shit. Gonna be one shirt. You got like 24 pictures. No, man. One pic per piece of merch. Anyway, look, I love y'all. I want y'all to all enjoy your night. Yes, we do have leggings. I love y'all. All want y'all to enjoy your night. I appreciate y'all showing up. I'm gonna try better tomorrow. I'm really not feeling that well. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.